Hi guys, so I thought I would make a video because I've kind of had something on my mind lately and it's been really bothering me a lot more than it usually bothers me, and I figure like now is the right time to talk about it. Like really nervous about this. I don't even know what to say. Basically I've been on a self journey trying to figure out like who I am and where I want to be and how I can grow with myself and my heart and God. And it basically all starts at the root. And so I went in my past, I tried to figure out like what went wrong, who, what, where, and when. And I kind of figured everything kind of started back when I was a freshman in high school. A really big incident happened to me and it kind of basically changed my whole life. It like, I don't know, I guess it set me in a direction I didn't know I was going to go down. And it kind of caused a lot of damage. Basically, right after freshman year, so I guess summer between freshman and sophomore year, I was going to St. Mary's High School. I was doing the summer school program, everything was good. I guess I was talking to one of the football players. We were more like friends, kind of had a crush on each other. We didn't really do anything though. And he texted me in the middle of class one day while I was in summer school, and he told me to meet him in front of the boys' bathroom. I was like, okay, like something must be wrong. So I told my teacher, I was like, hey, I gotta go to the bathroom, like, do you mind if I go? Obviously she excused me, so I went down B hall and I met in front of the boys' bathroom, and there he was standing, and he started kissing me. And obviously I liked it, like I liked him, so I didn't think anything of it. And I was like, okay, like whatever. And he grabbed my hand and he pulled me in the boys' bathroom, and I was like, whoa, like what are we doing? Like I'm not this girl, like I'm not gonna get caught. I don't like being in trouble. It's not my thing. And he basically like pinned me against the wall, and it basically escalated really quickly to a place that I did not want to be. I didn't want to be doing the things we were doing. And I don't really want to talk about details, to be honest. Regardless though, he pushed me to a point where I pushed off of him, and I ran out of the bathroom and I sobbed. I cried my entire way walking back to class. I was bawling in tears. I was so petrified and damaged. We didn't have sex, but he tried. He basically stuck the tip in, and it was just too much for me. I just couldn't do this. It was not what I wanted. I told him no multiple times and he didn't listen. He kept telling me, this, you know you want it. Stop saying no, you know you want it. Stop being scared, you want this. And I didn't want it. I didn't want it at all. I was still a virgin. I did not want to lose my virginity in a boys' bathroom, especially at school. Like, that's disgusting. It wasn't who I wanted to be with. It's not who or where I wanted anything to happen. I wasn't emotionally prepared for that. Like I was 14 still, I think. Yeah, I was 14. I wasn't even 15 yet. So it was kind of a lot for me to handle. I remember going back to class and my teacher making a smart comment like, you've been gone a really long time. And I was just crying, and I was like, first thing I thought of was, oh, I started my period and I couldn't find a pad. I was looking for one. She kind of rolled her eyes and I walked to my seat, just with tears in my eyes. Kind of looking back at it, I wish she would have pulled me aside maybe and questioned me a little bit more. Maybe it would have pushed me to tell someone. I remember looking at my best friend at the time and telling her, you know, like, this guy, he tried raping me. She looked at me like gone out crazy. She was, what are you talking about? And I just sat there. I shut down. My mind and my body, from that point on, it just shut down. Like I couldn't talk about it. I couldn't tell anybody. I didn't tell anybody or talk about it. From that point on, I went home and I shoved it so far back in my mind, I didn't even think about it again. Like, it was so far back a year later, it was like I didn't even remember. I did remember, but it was like it didn't even happen. Wow, that was really loud. I ended up losing my virginity a couple weeks later to the guy who is now the father of my child. He was kind of like the security blanket to that situation, which has led to some bad things, I guess. The way I treat him, the way my possessiveness over him, and my jealousy, it's kind of bad, actually. That's kind of where all that derives from. I didn't want to think of sex or feelings or any of that and associate it with that guy. I just wanted someone else to be that association. And I guess he was it. God placed him in my life for some reason, right? And so nobody knew. I didn't tell anybody. I didn't do anything. You know, it was basically, I put it on myself. It was my fault. You know, I continued kissing him. I didn't stop that. I did follow him in the boys' bathroom. It was completely, I felt like it was my fault. I let him on. I shouldn't have. That's why he did that. So I just shoved in the back of my head, you know, I didn't want people to judge me or say, you know, like I'm a slut or whatever else, or name shame me. I wasn't all into that. And I was really ashamed. I was ashamed of myself. I was ashamed of my body. I was ashamed of everything. So I went a year longer at St. Mary's without telling anybody. And me and baby daddy actually ended up breaking up because I don't know, my mind was someone else, I guess. It wasn't like who I am. And I guess I decided at that point, like, maybe I should tell him that I was damaged. I was a damaged person, and I wanted him to know, like, where it derived from. So I ended up telling him, and he didn't believe me. And then I was so hurt, I ended up telling his best friend at the time. You know, I was like, this is what happened to me. No one believes me. Like, I'm trying to speak out. And we were happened to be messaging each other at the time. And I was unaware that he was on a school computer while messaging me. And the librarians could see our entire conversation. So I was in the middle of the class one day. The principal and I believe it was just the principal, she came and pulled me out of class, and I was really confused, like, why? Like, what did I do? I haven't done anything. Why am I being pulled out of class? And they brought me to her office, and there were police there. There was a lot of staff member, and they kind of all surrounded me, and it was a very, like, uneasy feeling, and I was super nervous. Like, I didn't know what I had done. It didn't even click to me. And she brought up this football player's name. She goes, what is your relationship with him? And I go, I don't have one with him. Like, I haven't talked to him in a year. Like, why are you bringing this up? And then she went on to tell me that we have these messages that you were sending to blah, 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 accusing him of trying to rape you on our site, and we're investigating into it. And at that point, like, my whole world had changed. Like, I was pretty speechless, like, getting emotional. I was pretty speechless. Like, I didn't know what to do. 1 second, like, nobody knew, and, like, the next second, like, the whole world knew. And police took me aside, and they were, like, questioning me, and they're like, we have to tell your parents, like, you're underage, like, we have to tell them. So I begged them. I, like, begged them not to tell my dad. I was like, you have to tell my mom. My mom's the one you have to talk to. So, I gave them my parents' number, and they asked for, my dad picked up, and they asked for my mom, and I guess he was a little confused why they wouldn't talk to him, so they were okay. So he handed the phone over to my mom, and they told her, you know, your daughter was allegedly a victim when a guy tried to rape her. And it was, I honestly can't tell you what her reaction was. I have no idea. You know, I was bawling the principal's office while this was happening. Her and my dad came to the school as fast as possible. They picked me up, and it was basically, it was a big scene. I went through a lot. I was investigated. They went through my texts. They went through my phone. They made me actually text him. I don't know why. I hadn't talked to him for a year. Like, obviously he knew what was going on. So I had to text him and try and get him to confess. And it was this long, big process, and they wanted me to prosecute, and I didn't want to. I didn't want to go through the whole thing. It was a lot. There was video, but it was so long ago that it's gone. You know, apparently no one reviews it. So the case was dismissed, A, because I didn't want to, B, because it was a he said, she said type situation, and I had waited so long to tell people that I really had no chance anyways. It was kind of just, I don't know, sorry, playing with this. And I'm kind of just coming out today to try and speak on it because of this, A, the Me Too movement, and B, a lot of my friends have actually told me their story, and it's kind of like surprising because I didn't realize how many people this happens to. And almost, I'm gonna say 80% of my female friends have been sexually assaulted and or raped, and it's really sad because everyone keeps it a secret. Like, to this day, one of my family members, I told them I wanted to make a video and post it, and they were like, no, don't do that, don't post, don't tell the world. And I'm like, why can't I share my story? Why can't I be there for other girls and to try and prevent this for other girls and let them know that it's not their fault, that they can speak out on it? Everyone's so wound up in, you have to be perfect, you have to front for social media, you have to front for your family. And I guess to some certain extent, we feel that way. Like, nobody knows, you know? Nobody really knows. My mom knows, my dad knows, my brother knows, and some close friends. But other than that, the rest of you, I guess, were kind of not aware of what's happened. I feel like you should be. You know, you guys are my friends and family. You guys should know my story, as well as I feel like I should know yours. I feel like the world needs to be a little bit more vulnerable, a little bit more humble about what's happened to them. Don't play the victim role. Definitely, like, I'm not at all. I don't consider myself a victim. I don't feel sorry for myself. I've grown a lot. I've learned a lot, and I'm trying to. I completely and utterly forgive the guy who did this to me. I know he didn't think that 5-6 years later I'd be talking about this. I know he didn't think, it was not his intention for me to still, like, cry about it or think about it or be damaged by it. You know, he was 14 too. He was 14, 15. It was not his intention. He wasn't thinking, hey, I want to hurt this girl. Like, he's just a horny little boy. Like, it's just, I know that. Internally, I've made peace with that. I forgive him with all my heart. I really do. I don't think this is his fault. I think it was a mistake that we as a society need to learn from. And I just want the world to know that, like, it's okay. It's okay to talk about this. It's okay to let people know, like, I no longer feel ashamed about it. I'm no longer hurt. I just want to educate everyone and let them know that, like, I'm here for them and I completely understand. I'm just trying to find myself in this journey, and I feel like this is the start of it. I just need to be humble about it. I need to be informative about it and just let people know that it's okay. Like, you're gonna be okay. We as a society need to work a little bit harder, and letting girls know that, letting boys know that no means no. Girls, no means no. Like, respect people's communication when they say this stuff. Like, it's okay. You don't have to be ashamed. If you're uncomfortable in any way, leave the situation. If you don't like something, leave the situation. don't be embarrassed. I was embarrassed. I didn't want to walk out of that bathroom. I didn't want him to think badly of me. I didn't want him to judge me or to talk about me in any negative way possible. But he reached a point that I had to leave. For myself and my well-being, I had to leave. I had to walk away. I probably waited much, much too long. I should have walked away, you know, from the start of it, and I didn't. And it's just a learning experience, I guess, you know, like, I'm still working on myself. I'm not really sure the next step from here, but I'll figure it out. I think I just have to forgive my past, and I have to move on, and this is the start of it. And I hope that none of you, please don't feel sorry for me. Don't leave comments that you feel sorry for me or anything. I don't want you to feel sorry. I don't want you to look at me differently. I just want you to know my truth and my past, and where I come from and how I have grown from that person. And just be aware, you know, be aware of nobody's perfect. I know everybody says nobody's perfect, but I feel like this world thinks that everyone has to be perfect, you know, like everyone posts on social media how well their kids are being, or, you know, how good grades they're getting, or how well their job is going, or how they're losing weight. But no one talks about the difficult parts of it, you know. No one talks about the lows of their life, because we don't want people to feel sorry for us. We don't want people to judge us that we're not doing okay in life. Like, not everyone is okay in life. Like, life is hard. That was the hard part of my life. I'm still getting through that hard part. And I feel like this is a good start. This is a good healing process for me, to like announce that I forgive him and that I'm moving on, and I'm not going to use that as an excuse. I'm not going to use that situation or that happening to feel sorry for myself. I'm just going to move on. I'm going to be okay. And I hope that all of you know that if something like this has happened to you, or if you need to tell someone, or you know of someone, like, I am here. I have been through this. I know what it's like. You know, I was 14 then. I'm going to be 21 this year. I'm just now healing from it. I am just now getting over it. I'm just now accepting it. I've done a lot of bad things. Because of it, I've gone down some bad roads. I'm not a bad person though, you know, like I know who I am on the inside. God knows who I am. And the crazy part is, I wrote this kid a forgiveness letter. I wasn't going to send it to him. I was just going to write it. I was going to videotape myself reading it. And it took me about a week. It took me about a week of writing and truly trying to put my feelings into words, 'cause it's a little bit hard sometimes right on the spot. And when I finally did finish writing it, I left it on my bedside table and I fell asleep. And I woke up the next morning and it was gone. It was nowhere to be found. No one knew I was writing it. Not one person. They had no idea where that was. They didn't know about it. So I actually told my family that, hey, I wrote this letter and it's gone. Like, did anyone take it? And we tore the entire house apart. We went through the trash. We looked under my bed. We tore the entire house apart and it is gone. I'm not sure if that was a sign. I'm not sure what happened to it. I'm just going to symbolize it as letting go. It is gone. The past is gone. It's time for the future and to look ahead. So yeah, I'm going to relinquish my freedom. I'm going to get that back. I'm going to get my freedom back and my health back and my mind back and my spirit back, because that's what I deserve. I deserve to be myself again. I don't think it's right that someone else should own that. Every time I think of the word St. Mary's or high school or rape, like, it really, these past 6 years, it's really made me cringe. Like, I don't like those words. I don't like people talking about it. But for now on, it's going to change. You know, like, one man does not deserve my life. He doesn't deserve that. He shouldn't have control over my life. You know, like, I haven't talked to him since that day. So, this is me taking all that back. I'm a new person now. I'm going to take a new step in life and move forward, and we're going to see how this goes. Thank you guys for listening. Like I said, please don't leave any comments about feeling sorry for me or anything else. I don't. Positive comments only. If you didn't know, now you guys know. I'm sorry for not telling you back then, but please understand it is personal issues, something I had to get through by myself. And if you did know, thank you so much for being supportive and having my back and not telling anyone and just being there for me completely these past 6 years. You've seen what struggles I've gone through, and you guys have really been my backbone. And now that I have a daughter, it's like I need to be her backbone. I need to be vulnerable in front of her. I need to be humble in front of her. I need to be completely truthful and honest in front of her. Like, she needs to know that it's okay. It's okay not to be strong all the time. It's okay to lose yourself sometimes, as long as you find yourself again. So this is for her and I. Thanks, guys.